Hello, welcome to Thespian Bard Reviews. I'm Thespian Bard. Today, I feel a little bit dreary. And when I feel dreary, I like to think about movies that have a special and slight dreary and etherealness to them. Which is why today we are reviewing Death Takes a Holiday, which was filmed in 1934 with Frederick March as the title character. It is based on the Italian play La Morte in Vacanza by Alberto Casella. So, shall we begin? This film opens with what we consider the classic 30s introduction, where we are slowly introduced to each of the characters who will play a major part in the production, or so we think. They are at this sort of party get-together celebrating the homecoming of soldiers from war. This is set sometime after World War I. One of the young people in the group, there are some elders with them, but one of the younger men goes off to search for his fiancée, Grazia, who we first see praying in a church. All of the introductions are very nice here, and Grazia's introduction especially sets up her character. There is some wonderful interplay and an interesting little mention, which you'll understand later when I get to it. Corrado, the young man, tells Grazia that they are expecting the arrival of a prince from Russia named Sergei. They then go off into a car race, which is a setup for an actual near-death experience. Corrado, who is driving Grazia to his family's mansion, and another young person, is driving along when Grazia reacts to this shadow which seems to be following them. She says, "Sometimes it's near, sometimes we almost lose it," and then she tells him to go faster so that they can lose it. Okay, she's clearly in the loony bin. Basically, what we are getting here is a setup for the first scene from the play. Well, technically it's the second part of the first scene, after we hear some servants chatting. It's a very brilliantly done scene, with conversations going on between the speeding Duke and his son and their passengers in their respective vehicles. Corrado almost barely dodges death but into a cart, and then the Duke actually hits the cart. All survive. Shocking them. The reactions are very well. Though it is kind of annoying that the entire cast is experienced, which is unlike the play, but it's still a fun watch. Then they finally arrive at the house, and some of the youngsters have a flower fight. Instead of a snowball fight, they flower fight. And they discuss life, death, and their reactions to what goes on before. And the interplay is ingenious, with you learning so much about the various different characters as we go on. And I'm believing, as we see Grazia talk about her thoughts on this event, that Grazia is an eccentric young woman with her head in the clouds. She's either insane or like she is from another world. It's perfect, though. She is exactly how you would picture this very ethereal young woman. She is very sweet, too. And there's piano music playing, and it is very appropriate to what's going on, and there's some very nice interchanges between all the characters that is really believable. And then Grazia says some disturbing things. At least I think they're disturbing, as does the princess, about how she is not like them in some ways. It sounds almost like a mad woman talking, and yet it is perfect for the sort of ethereal separateness she has. There are some great side plots, such as this Englishman or American, Eric, trying to woo this young widow who seems to be uncaring toward his affections. They're very fun, though. Corrado talks to Grazia about getting married, and then her family also encourages this. Their families both encourage it. It's very sweet and very thing, and she has so much pressure on her, and she's so ethereal. Grazia is in love with essentially a shadow. She's so spiritual, very deeply spiritual in her mind and actions. She goes out into the Guardian, and they talk a little. And then Grazia screams, and the timing is perfect with something Corrado says. The whole production is filled with such incidents, and the concern they have for her after they bring her back in is so honest and true. And then Grazia describes what she felt, what caused the scream, and it is a near-death experience she's describing, and it slightly creeps me out. And then she starts sounding scared and like she's delusional or having a panic attack, which works. The clock chime striking 12 is brilliant, and the setup leading to it is very well. And the acting is so impressive. The thoughts you can see in every character. Sir Guy Standing, who plays the Duke, excellent. Same with all of them. There's this one character, the Baron, who is very funny with how he is always talking about life and youngsters, and it's very well done. And the servants interact very well with their employers, and it's very well done. And then I have to go here. The soundtrack is very extraordinary, especially as they bring in Death. And this is a very impressive scene. The Death's appearance when he appears in the room, and then his cloak being somewhat see-through, is amazing. The effects involving it are almost astounding. It's creepy, yet awesome, and it's very well done. Frederick March performs this part excellency. It is so emotionless yet empathetic at the same time as he describes what he wants, which is to learn why humans fear him, and he's commanding to. He tells the men exactly how they want. The accent is also very good, but it is slightly disturbing to see legs as March floats away. But it's a brilliant job, and then the reaction from the family who shot a gun, Corrado shot a gun, and the others is very amusing. And in fact, when he reveals, Duke Lambert reveals that it was a messenger that the Prince Serki is coming. By the way, spoilers, Prince Serki will die shortly before this play takes place. And their reaction is very shocked, and he gives a great speech about what to expect from Serki, what he expects them to behave towards Serki, because it's actually Death, and it's going to be really great. And the reactions are very fun. One wants to leave, and then he's pulled back, and then Serki is announced, and it is a very nice entrance. And this scene where he gets introduced to each character is wonderful. The women curtsy, he kisses their hand. It's beautiful. And just how Serki interacts with the others is really likable. Serki is a bit confused when the Duke offers him refreshment, and when the Duke explains, he goes, "Ah, yes, a glass of wine." And he continues. It's just how well. And from the beginning, the women we meet are already drawn to Serki. The two eligible young women, besides Grazia, that we've met, are just wonderfully done. Serki offers a toast, and it is, in my opinion, the best toast ever. To this household, to life, and to all brave illusion. I'm halfway through this film, and I'm already loving it. It's just so wonderfully perfect. And now they're about to go. He's going up to bed, and he meets Grazia, who's just about to come down. And there's this just sweet little scene. They stare at each other. He greets the princess very nicely, and he greets Grazia with a bow. She curtsies, and it's just beautiful. The next morning, there's conversation about the bushes and vines giving flowers, and all of them doing it, and all of it being a miracle. And it's a wonderful scene for a wonderful morning. And then the two girls, who have gotten a crush on the prince, and they have also been roomed this night, and they have this discussion about their sleeping habits, Prince Serki being here, and other amusing things, and it's just very well done. Grazia and Serki have this lovely conversation where she gives him a flower.